Hi, I'm Trish Lapidus. In this series of talks about the stages of growth in the ancient fairy tale, we have come now to the wanderer. Let me quickly review. First we have the innocent, whose only task is to get lost. And then we have the orphan, who wonders, where are my people? Where are my parents? Then we have the martyr, who has to learn about sacrifice and whose greatest fear is being thought selfish, and who at the end of it gives away fear and becomes, you might say, fearless, no longer afraid. Then we have two stages that could be interchangeable. Many people become warriors at this stage, and you'll see that in life. You'll see people who get tired of being afraid and just cast fear aside and say, I'm fighting for what is right. And whatever they perceive to be the problems or the enemies in the society, they will go to bat, they'll go to work on that. Some people engage in the stage called wandering first, and some people postpone it until after the warrior time. So in the case of Swamp Walking Woman, my book about, my book that is a fairy tale, she is a wanderer first, almost without choice, because she's wandered into this swamp without intention, and she has to keep moving on until she finds somebody, some folks, figures out what's going on in the swamp, why the swamp is everywhere, why it's become such a problem, and then she shifts from wanderer and from martyr, which kind of coincided in her case. She's cried many tears and gotten over that and decided there's probably a better way to deal with problems. So she shifts from that into the warrior. But we'll talk about the wanderer piece first, because that's really comes first in her story. The wanderer does not recognize any authority. The wanderer breaks from authority, breaks from parental teachings, controls, and the wanderer doesn't recognize the magician, that's the last stage in a fairy tale, is the wise woman, who could be also described as the magician, or the wise person, wise man. So the wanderer is just not even interested in the magician. The wanderer is like had it with magicians and anybody who has any authority or who claims to any magic. So she just goes off to find out, okay, I want to find out what's going on around here. What gives? So Swamp Walking Woman gets into that situation. She's in this swamp and she needs to find out who is causing all this trouble. Why don't the fireflies have the correct chemical to light themselves anymore? Why do they need help getting their little lights turned on? Why are the people just huddled on these little hummocks and not doing anything about the situation? And she begins to meet up with some maybe men dressed up as alligators, or maybe alligators dressed up as men. She can't tell which is what, but she starts to see then what the difficulty is, who the oppressors are, and why the people are huddled up like that. So she shifts at that point from wandering to becoming a warrior.